Assalamu alaikum students and welcome to today's session. Today's session is about initial difficulties of Pakistan. We'll be discussing about the initial difficulties, that what were the initial problems which were being faced by Pakistan soon after independence. If you are going to talk about the chapter number, so this is chapter number 11 from your book, that is the early problems. So when Pakistan came into being in the year 1947, Pakistan was surrounded with certain problems. It was not an easy task to get the freedom of a country, but once freedom has been obtained, still the newly formed country was surrounded with a list of difficulties which the country had to face. The first major problem which was being faced by Pakistan was the choice of capital and establishment of the government. That was the initial problem being faced by Pakistan, that there was needed to be a city that it should be chosen as the capital of the country. Now it was a big question mark that which city is going to be chosen as the capital. People of Lahore, they were claiming that Lahore should be made the capital. People of Quetta wanted Quetta to be made the capital. People of Karachi wanted Karachi to be made as the capital. However, people of Bengal, East Pakistan, they wanted uh, Dhaka to be made as the capital. So finally, the government had to choose one city. So the government had chosen Karachi as the capital city of the country. The reason for choosing Karachi was that Karachi was the center of trade and other activities, and it was far more developed area as compared to other areas. So therefore, Karachi was chosen as the capital. The next issue which the newly formed country Pakistan had to face was basically about the unfair boundary distribution. As per the 3rd June plan, it was announced that a boundary commission is going to be there under the chairmanship of Sir Cyril Ratcliffe, which is going to decide the borders of the two countries. The results of the boundary commission came 2 days after independence. And if you can see on the screen, so all the area in green was given to India, and all the area which is in yellow was given to Pakistan. Now, this was something really unjust, that such a small area has been given to Pakistan and a huge area has been assigned to India. Moreover, if you see on the map, so one part was given to Pakistan in the east and the other part was given towards the west. The distance between east and west was about 1,000 miles, and it was quite difficult for the government to manage both the parts, since the problem is that both the parts are not having any sort of proper communication facilities, and even no proper transportation facilities were available. So at that time, it was another challenge which was there with the government of Pakistan, that how are they going to manage all this stuff. So this is the problem which is related to unfair boundary distribution. The next problem which was being faced by Pakistan is the division of military assets. At the time of division of military armed forces and weaponry and stuff, 65% of the military and assets and everything was assigned to India, and only 35% was given to Pakistan. Upon asking the British, they gave the reason that actually this is not our fault, and we had given the option to the soldiers that either they want to join India or Pakistan. So 65% of the soldiers, they wanted to join India, and only 35% were willing to join Pakistan. However, this was not the reality. Pakistan received nothing but scrap and out of order machinery, broken weapons, unserviceable artillery, and aircrafts. There were 16 ordnance factories which were located in India, and all of those factories were given to India, and not even a single factory was given to Pakistan. Ordnance factories are the factories which actually manufacture weapons for the army. Instead of the ordnance factories, 60 million rupees were given to Pakistan towards its share in the ordnance factories, but it was of no use because the money is going to be invested, factories are going to be established, they are going to produce weapons. It is going to take such a long time. And what about the time within which the weapons are going to be produced? What if Pakistan is being attacked? Then what about the defense system and stuff? So military assets was really unjust. But all of this injustice Pakistan had to face, and no one was there uh, to solve the issue. At that point of time, all the soldiers which were given to Pakistan were the people who were untrained. They were new to the army. They didn't knew how to use the weapons and stuff and the war strategies. Even the chief of army of Pakistan was a British. The people objected this thing that how come a British can be the chief of army of Pakistan, but no such experienced man was there. At that time, Jinnah hired 500 soldiers from Britain just to resolve the problem and to provide training to the soldiers of Pakistan. Talking about the division of financial assets. At the time of division of India and Pakistan, there were 4 billion rupees which were lying in the Reserve Bank of India. And it was decided that Pakistan is going to be given 750 million rupees as a share in the financial assets. Now, what happened that the first installment of 200 million was paid by India to Pakistan. Then the war between India and Pakistan started in the year 1948 over the issue of Kashmir. So India stopped the supply of financial share of assets to Pakistan. It was Mr. Gandhi who miraculously started to protest in favor of Pakistan. He went on a hunger strike so that the money which was for Pakistan could be released. So the second installment of 500 million was finally released after the hunger strike of Gandhi. It was paid to Pakistan. However, the remaining 50 million rupees are still not paid. So this was a deliberate intention of the British to surround Pakistan with initial problems so that they should not be able to provide relief to its people. The next issue that we have is the economic problems. Talking about the economic problems, so the areas which were given to Pakistan were underdeveloped areas, specifically talking about Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, and NWFP. Were the areas where only farming was done, rarely in Punjab, and jute farming was done in Bengal, East Pakistan. No industries were available. Industries were required to be developed so that the people could be provided with employment and products could have been developed. At that point of time, Jinnah established the industrial policy of Pakistan, wherein Jinnah said that Pakistan is going to establish agro-based industries. Now, what are agro-based industries? Agro-based industries are the industries which require agricultural products as their raw material. Like, for example, we have the sugar industry, it takes sugarcane as its raw material. We have the cotton textile industry, it takes raw cotton as its raw material. So it was established that Pakistan is going to make agro-based industries so that the agricultural products are utilized as well as industrialization can be done in the country. But yes, it was a big problem which Pakistan had to face, because if there is no industrialization, the demand of the people cannot be fulfilled. Goods are required to be imported, and a lot of money is going to be spent upon it. A major problem being faced by Pakistan soon after independence was the issue of national language. Since Pakistan came into being on the map of the world as a separate independent state, so a national language of the state was to be decided. The people of West Pakistan, they wanted Urdu to be the national language. However, the people of East Pakistan, who were the Bengalis, they wanted Bengali to be the national language. Now, the thing is that a dispute started between the people. So it was Jinnah who finalized and said that Urdu and Urdu alone would be the national language of Pakistan. The reason for choosing Urdu was that Urdu was a developed language and it was the one and only language which was understood across Pakistan. And Urdu had some emotional attachment with the people as well, because Urdu was the language which was used by the people during the freedom movement. So the issue of national language was a major dispute, and this issue of national language actually contributed towards the uh, delay in the constitution making of Pakistan as well. So yes, it was another major problem. There was the electricity crisis as well, because all the power stations were there in India. The areas which were there with Pakistan weren't having any power stations. So another challenge for the government was to build power stations so that energy crisis could be overcome and power could be provided to the industrial sector so that industries could be established therein. And now comes over the Kashmir dispute. As a part of Third June plan, we have discussed it in the Third June plan that Lord Mountbatten had said that for the princely states, a referendum means voting. A referendum is going to be done that the people are going to vote that either they want to join India or they want to join Pakistan. Now, the people of Kashmir, majority were the Muslims, they voted to join Pakistan. However, the ruler of Kashmir was a Hindu and he voted to join India and he forcefully joined India. The people of Kashmir, they protested against the situation. However, India sent its army and they captured Kashmir and no one was able to challenge this situation. This is called as the Kashmir issue. Kashmir was forcefully taken over by India. However, it was about to become a part of Pakistan. This is the Kashmir dispute which happened, and this Kashmir dispute is prevailing still up to now, and there has been no solution. In the year 1948, the army of Pakistan had attacked India, and they were only able to capture some part of Kashmir, which is called as Azad Jammu and Kashmir AJK. If you can see on the map as well, it is written Pakistani administered Kashmir. So some part of it has been taken over by Pakistan, but still the rest of it is still controlled by India, as well as there were some other princely states as well, such as there was Junagadh, Hyderabad, Deccan, and other princely states were there. If I talk about Junagadh and Hyderabad, Deccan, so these were the areas where the rulers were Muslim and the people were Hindus. So the people wanted to join India, however, the rulers wanted to join Pakistan. But because of the demand of the people, uh, the rulers had to join India. But what about Kashmir then? The people wanted to join Pakistan. Why the British agreed to the ruler? Why didn't they listen to the people? Now, this serves as a big question mark, and it clearly indicates that the British were biased towards towards the Indians. Now, keep this thing in mind as well, that Lord Mountbatten had friendly relations with the leader of Hindus, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru. So this can be one major reason as well towards that as to why the British were biased towards the Hindus. Next issue that we have is the Canal water dispute. The eastern rivers of Pakistan that we have is Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj. They were originating from India and they were flowing towards Pakistan. Now, what India did, that India stopped the supply of water, claiming that the waters were originating from India, so they have the right to stop the water supply. Now, Pakistan was an agricultural country. Pakistan was relying upon the water supply, and once the water supply was cut off, it turned out to be a drought in Pakistan. The crops got destroyed, and there were food shortages as well. This issue started in 1948 and it continued till 1960. For 12 long years, Pakistan had to face this issue. Finally, in the year 1960, an agreement was signed between India and Pakistan called as the Indus Water Treaty, wherein the Indian government agreed that Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab, three rivers, will be controlled by Pakistan, and Ravi, Satluj, and Beas, three rivers, will be controlled by India. This agreement was signed with the help of United Nations, but yes, this issue is still prevailing even nowadays as well. India stops the water, violating the agreement, and there is no one to challenge India. Once Pakistan came into being as a separate country, a new constitution was needed. At the time of independence, the Government of India Act 1935 had been adopted as the temporary constitution, but a separate constitution was needed to be developed. Now, what is the constitution? Constitution is a set of laws, rules, and regulations which are required to govern a country. So, constitution was needed, but there were three major issues which led to the delay of constitution making of Pakistan. The first issue was that language issue that we have already discussed, that people of East Pakistan wanted Bengali to be the national language, people of West Pakistan, they wanted Urdu to be the national language. The second issue was that the religious scholars, the ulama, they wanted the constitution to be purely Islamic, and they wanted each and every provision to be Islamic. And this was a big conflict between the government and the ulamas. The third issue was that the people of East Pakistan, they claimed that since they are 55% of the total population of Pakistan, so they should be given a major share in ruling Pakistan in the government. Now, this was something unacceptable to the people of West Pakistan. The people of West Pakistan, they claimed that sharing should be done on equality basis. This was the constitutional problem. And finally, the first ever constitution of Pakistan was finalized in 1956. Pakistan came into being in 1947. The first constitution was finalized in 1956. For 9 long years, Pakistan was without a proper constitution. Next is the refugee problem. Now, the refugee problem, actually, the British and specifically the Radcliffe Award is responsible for the refugee problem. There were various areas which were Muslim majority areas, and the people were expecting that these areas are going to be given to Pakistan, such as the areas of Firozpur, Gurdaspur, and Calcutta. But what happened that after 2 days of independence, when the results of boundary commission came, so they were quite surprising that the areas were given to India. Now it turned out to be a chaos, and people started rushing towards Pakistan. So millions of people, they migrated from India to Pakistan, and it is called as the world's biggest migration, or it is counted amongst one of the world's biggest migration, wherein the people migrated from India to Pakistan. Now, when the people they came to Pakistan, they were quite helpless. They weren't having any houses, any shelter, any money because they had left everything behind in India. So Jinnah ordered for setting up of camps for the refugees. Food crisis was there, so Jinnah appealed developed countries such as USA and UK and France for the food aid, and the doctors and other people, they provided their services for free. The refugee rehabilitation program was started just to solve the refugee crisis. The next problem which is being faced by Pakistan was the social problem. When Pakistan came into being, so the people were discriminating each other on grounds of race, language, culture, caste, etc. For example, the Punjabi people are discriminating the Balochi people and etc. Things like that were happening. So at that time, Jinnah toured various areas of Pakistan, and he told the people to stay united. He told the people that it is important that you should stay united, because if you are going to progress as a nation, it is important that you should stay united. But still, we can see that there is a lack of unity amongst the people of Pakistan. Another issue was that when Pakistan came into being, offices were needed for the government to have meetings and to function and to take decisions. There was no infrastructure available, and even no office stationery was available. So, army barracks where training is provided to the army soldiers, army barracks were used by the government officials to conduct meetings and stuff. People in the government, they provided their services for free. Even they did not charge a single penny in the form of salary, and even they brought stationery and stuff from their homes. So this is how the leaders they tried solving the administrative problem which was being faced by Pakistan. And finally is the death of Jinnah. That Jinnah was the leader who was leading and guiding the Muslims of Pakistan as to how they are going to overcome the problems being faced as a newly born state. But only after 13 months of independence, Jinnah passed away. And again, the people were left back helpless without any planning as to how they are going to solve the crisis which was being faced by the newly formed state. Related to this topic, if I talk about, so the question which comes in the examination is a question for 14 marks, like as you can see here. Was the financial issue the main problem faced by Pakistan soon after independence? Explain your answer. Now, this is a question for 14 marks. If this kind of a question comes in the examination, so you will be required to explain the problem which is being asked in the question. Like here, it is asking about the financial problem. And apart from the financial problem, you are required to answer any 5 or 6 problems more in a separate paragraph, so that the requirement of the answer can be completed. And along with this, you are required to write down a conclusion as well, wherein you are going to conclude that what do you think that which problem was the main issue which led to Pakistan being challenged so much. Also, a question can come for 14 marks asking you that how successful was Pakistan in overcoming the initial difficulties faced after independence? Now, in this type of a question, you are required to write down the solutions to the problems. If this kind of a question is going to come, so you are going to uh, address or address the problems briefly along with the solutions and mention the problems to which there was no solution. So, what you can do is that you can write about three problems solved, and you can write about any two problems unsolved. So, on the basis of it, you can conclude that either it was a success or it was a failure or whatever. So, this is how it's going to be. So these are the two major 14 mark type of questions which can come in the examination. Other than that, 7 mark questions are basic questions which can come, like, for example, that why did Pakistan face the economic problem, or why did Pakistan face the refugee problem? Why did Pakistan face the military problem? So in these questions, analysis and reasoning is required to be done by you people as to why do you think that Pakistan faced a military crisis? Because the British were biased. Pakistan faced a military crisis because out of order machinery and trained soldiers were assigned to Pakistan. Pakistan faced the military problem because Pakistan wasn't having money to hire soldiers for training or to get the modern weapons and stuff. So, this is how you are going to address these kind of questions. So this chapter, if you are going to cover this chapter, remember to cover the two important 14 mark questions. The first one is about the difficulties and the second one is about the solutions to the difficulties. These are the two important things to be covered herein.